Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back. Give yourself a pat on the back because we're back. This has been a phenomenal week. The last 2 weeks have been great weeks. I took a day off yesterday to handle some personal business and a lot of personal reasons, but we're back and we're better, right? I don't take much days off of this thing, but when it permits, I have to, right? When it permits, I kind of have to. But we're back. It's been a great week. I just want to recap. It's been a great week. I want to recap this week with how important I feel like this week has been. One of the more important weeks of shows and spaces that I've personally been a part of, right? And because it brought a lot of awareness, one to showing me how passionate and how much this community actually cares. Two, about the structure and the formality of the DAO and how, there's two things here. It's, are people just complaining and whining just to complain and whine? Or are people complaining and whining to actually have their voice heard and to see change? There's a big difference between those two. And if anything I've learned is this week is that our voice can be heard. Just have to do a little bit more on our end to make it heard. And that's what the DAO is for. And I hope we all took this week as a major lesson to the structure of ENS and how to go about that moving forward. So it was a great week of discussion, some heated debates, but I think the goal of overall awareness within the community was raised at a heightened level. If you didn't know what the DAO was before, how it operated, or what the hell a proposal was, I guarantee you a lot more people are more aware of that now, and that's the start of a takeover, I should say. Not even a takeover like we're taking over um, anything, but more so takeover in understanding of how this governance works for our benefit, or should at least be for our benefit, right? But no need to continue to cry over spilled milk. Let's talk about some modern and current news, because that's old news, right? We know news never lasts too long. We're always looking for the next hot trending topic of the day. That being said, Russia's largest bank to launch a DeFi platform on the Ethereum network. That's huge news because, for the simple fact, we know that traditional companies, traditional banks, if they want to continue to survive the next 100 years, because we know these banks been around for hundreds of years, if they want to continue to be around for the next 100 years, they have to adjust and adapt. And to see a lot of banks saying, "Hey, we're willing to adjust, we're willing to evolve, we're willing to adapt," it's a very good sign for not only Ethereum and Web3, but also for those banks that are willing to play ball. So shout out to Russia's largest bank for willing to launch their DeFi platform. Interesting. We talked about Chat GBT so much on this space. Is one of my favorite topics to talk about for several different reasons. One, my pure fascination with it, my pure curiosity with it, and the actual reality of the numbers and the statistics that's happening right in front of our eyes is historical. GBT reaches 100 million active users in 2 months, the fastest growing consumer app in history. The fastest growing consumer app in history, faster than YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. It outshined and outpaced every single one of them. Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. So if you haven't tried this platform, you haven't used this platform, you're only doing yourself a disharm and a disservice. The world is changing right before our eyes. I seen something on Instagram. Actually, I follow a couple of AI pages that talk about AI news, and I seen something where it says by 2025, AI will replace 85 million jobs. But it also said by 2025, the number was around 95 million. It will also create 95 million jobs. Right. So while AI is going to replace a shit ton of work, the same way the internet did, The same way how when we got out the industrial ages and people don't work in factories, or people aren't working as much on the farms and things anymore. Those jobs been replaced by technology, but new jobs been created. And I see the same exact thing happening with artificial intelligence, where these jobs is going to replace a lot of jobs. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of new opportunities is gonna come around the horizon. So just keep that in mind. And I highly suggest, if we're here right now, you guys are smart enough to begin to follow some of these topics on your own. You don't need to take massive action on AI as of right now, but for it to be the fastest growing platform in human history, to just see Microsoft invest 10 billion into the platform, I highly suggest you continue to do your own research. You continue to follow the potential of AI, and you position yourself to be a winner when the time comes. Next, Logan Paul. Logan Paul, we all know the famous Logan Paul, is sued in class action lawsuit against his crypto NFT project. CryptoZoo was a rug pull. I just wanted to talk about this very briefly. He's not the first rug pull, and he's not going to be the last rug pull. Just because somebody's famous doesn't mean you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars investing into the project. This is why I gravitated towards ENS. This is why I gravitated towards historical NFTs. I'm tired of the bullshit owners and creators and founders and celebrities and this, that, and the third. They're going to hype the project up for 2 weeks. Yeah, you might make a quick buck. You very well might make a quick buck if you're a smart trader. But what about the other people who actually believe in the project and say, okay, I'm going to hold this for a little bit longer? They get absolutely screwed. They get screwed, hammered, right? Because it was false hope and false belief. Those who come in quick and get out quick, shout out to you. But but truth is, more people get screwed and hammered than those who win. So we'll keep it moving right right from there. KuCoin just swapped another 10x 4 digits. They now officially hold 119 4 digits. That is absolutely huge. But we do know, I'm gonna let Master talk about this a little bit later. We do know they do not currently own their KuCoin.eth name yet, but to me, I think it's only a matter of time before that actually happens, because clearly somebody in that department, somebody over there is intrigued and fascinated with the digits, and soon they'll see it goes a lot further and deeper than just the speculation of the digits and the actual utility of the platform. Last but not least, I would say, before I pass the mic over to our co-host, is Sadaf. Sadaf did a phenomenal thread that actually gave me a lot of insight and education on resources and tools to become more active in the governance of the ENS protocol through the DAO. So it's a phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal thread. She breaks it down very easy to understand, very easy to see and comprehend. Save it, bookmark it, and use it as a resource to yourself and our education through this journey, because this whole thing to all of us, and we need to continue to educate ourselves, and that's a phenomenal resource to use. That being said, I'm going to pass it over to our co-host Art and One. Stage is yours, brother.
Hey, GM Kev, GM everyone. Yeah, just kind of echoing to what Kev said. A real good, man, a couple good weeks of just some really good content, some really important topics. Earlier in the week, I think first 3 days was kind of all about the DAO and stuff. Well, look, we need to learn about that. I mean, all along it's been Gary Palmer and Punks have kind of been talking about that as early as I can remember, banging the drum, talking about the DAO, learning about it, and pretty much everything I've done with the DAO, 100% has been because of those two. Remember, we had those matching donations where they did the funding rounds. That was all because Gary kind of educated us on that, and then yeah, all that stuff. So I appreciate those guys who've been involved, know how it works, kind of motivating us. And look, it's just like I was. I had one of my majors was political science because originally I was going to law school. Chinese and political science were my two majors, and I had an international relations minor in college. And so I'm pretty up to date on politics, but I really don't do much with it. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like, oh, it's kind of a rigged system. it's kind of, doesn't really matter sometimes, depending on the state. Your vote sometimes doesn't matter, but it's we kind of tend to do that. But definitely with this kind of governance, it's different because we're here figuring this whole thing out, figuring what does a DAO mean, what does governance mean, voting, all these things in Web3. So we're part of that, figuring that out, and no one's got all the answers, but we should at least educate ourselves and play a role in that. Um, the other thing I was going to say, I don't have a whole bunch to say because yesterday I had a bunch of people fly in from some other countries, and we had kind of a get together with some of our investors. This new project we're working on, so I was pretty much from this time till like 1 in the morning. I was pretty much tied up and didn't get to know any of the news. So it's nice to come in earlier on the show I had and this show hearing what's going on. Like for usually I've heard it, within a minute or two of it happening, but yesterday was a day that I didn't have. So it's cool to see KuCoin doing that. Excited to see KuCoin when they finally step up and get KuCoin.eth. You know what I mean? Like you say, it's inevitable. And anyway, it's good on since I've been a little more busy IRL nowadays. It's nice when I don't have. I'm still got my 17 hours of FaceTime. Well, not quite so much anymore because screen time. Because a lot of times I'm on Zoom calls or in real life meetings, but almost in the office every day, which I'm usually there couple hours a week. But it is nice to come to these spaces and get all up to date. And yeah, and also last thing on that AI thing, man, Kevin, a few guys really called that thing really freaking blew up like nothing ever has. So interesting. And like I say, today I'm gonna more kick back and learn from everyone else's input because I was kind of out of touch for most of yesterday. So looking forward to it. And yeah, the consistency's great. It's just awesome to have this platform to build us up in the bear market. We get alpha, we learn about stuff as well as get brought up to date. So looking forward to today's show and looking forward to the happy hour tonight with the NFT verse.
Bombs for Ron. Thank you, Ron. Hope all is well and hope you have a phenomenal weekend as well. Let's go right over to our co-host, Master. Master, good evening, brother.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, these days I'm traveling actually on a business travel to Beijing, and yeah, just finished work for today, and right now I'm in my hotel room. It's 0 a.m. and I'm drinking beer and listening to this space. Ron just mentioned something about AI, and I think recently Open AI, the Chat GPT, is something amazing. And I think it's the shortest. It took the shortest period to reach 100 million user to access it, which is incredible. And also we need to know that you know none of the Chinese can officially can legally visit this site because we still need a VPN, which means if you open the gate, if the China government allow us to access it directly, there will be more. There will be more. So for me, I'm very curious on its how to chat and what it looks like. So it's not like we simply visited the site, and also because we need to prepare an account. And for Chinese users, we the application of accounts is even more complicated. Than the VPN itself. We need to buy an account from the third party and let someone register. If we want to use our own email account to register, there must be someone to do that for us. So it's not very friendly to us. But after talking to the chat GPT, I think yeah, it was amazing. So I kind of tried to learn a lot of things from the Robert, more for just for fun, like asking him how can I possibly improve my skill for, like, for example, golf skill, and how can I stay healthy, how can I lose some weight, and how can I practice a lot of things, all the questions. Very curious, just like a people. And the most exciting part is I checked with him about ENS, about the .eth domain. And the chat GPT open AI, his answer is very likely very humor. He say .eth has huge potential given the user adoption for Ethereum is getting much higher, but future things it's not 100% guaranteed. Who knows? Something like that. Yeah, I think that's the spirit. And right now, the Open AI and ChatGPT is such kind of the killing app. It's a sign to tell us that more and more people will get unemployed, unfortunately, sooner or later. Because, I think there was a news that, ChatGPT, joined an interview and he got a job opportunity. He kind of, he is hired by Google for engineer role for payroll for like 180 k US dollar, something like that. So more and more people are likely to get unemployed. So what is our advantage? We should ask ourselves this question: what can we do while the AI cannot do moving forward in the future? When I ask myself that question, I find I'm not as smart as the AI. I'm definitely with less energies in the AI because he's a robot. He can do everything, but I will get tired, right? I will get lazy. So yeah, what is our advantage? I think for people, maybe technology, maybe the mind, maybe of how to build a relationship, how to make friends, how to have your personal charming part to that maybe the AI will learn it a little bit slower than you. And also maybe about the technology, we should not stay in the last 20 years like the internet, the ideas. We should stay current and maybe focus on blockchain. Because I think I heard from someone once that imagine if ET from other planets they visit the earth, and what kind of the money, what kind of the currency will they use, were they likely to admit? So eventually they think instead of all the fiat or even US dollar or any country's money, I think ET will use cryptocurrency. And I think if we change it, the ET from ET to to the AI, maybe AI will do the same because he's the smartest, right? Or the mathematics he has done that for us. So yeah, I think and this is just kind of my thoughts about the open AI recently, about ENS recently, because do the smart thing. And if we if we compare ourselves with the AI, ask yourself this question: what is your advantage? And if you find yourself has no advantage at any part, then you are at a risk. You have a potential risk. You need to do something. You need to change yourself. You need to learn something. You need to gain some new skills, or you need to make enough money so as to make sure even you stop working, so that so the interest from that money can feed you and your family. You need to do something, right? Because moving forward, that would be the trend. Microsoft and Google, they are just determined the next direction, and the VCs has determined that the open AI and the AI related to use the robot, use computer to replace a human being is a trend, unfortunately. So yeah, we should not stay at at our so-called comfortable zone, just like the toll station, the people working toll station. Once there is ETC, that is no longer toll guy needed, then you lose your job, right? Even the Amazon people, even the Twitter people will lose their job because of some technology, upgrade or some of the change of the management. Then yeah, everything can happen. So we should always, while in Chinese we say live in the safe and consider for the danger. We should always have that in mind to make sure there's always a good opportunity. There's always a preferred opportunity for us and our family. And yeah, I think this time last week I keep saying that we have 7 days for the name wrapper. We have 6 days, 5 days, 4 days, counting down. But unfortunately, by the earlier this week, it turned to be another 2 weeks. So yeah, I don't mind to keep counting down the one more again. Control C, Control V, do that over again. But that is. Still will be a game changer. Nothing has been changed. I think only minor issue detected on the latest name wrapper. So yeah, we will have a very healthy and very complete 100% version to make sure the subdomain will start. The subdomain mainstream will start. I think recently there's a project called Tiffany. Tiffany.eth is selling his subdomains, and I think it's not Tiffany the company, but also it's an NFT project, because it will be launching a NFT from 0000 to 999. So anyone that minted their 4 digits, any of the within the digits, or 3 to 1 digits of the subdomains, they will be have free to claim the NFT. But who knows? I'm never interested in any NFT, because I have no knowledge, no experience in any of the art. I don't know art. I can't tell which is better, which is normal. I only can have a very rough view for all the pictures myself. So I only care about the subdomain, and which can be a game changer for the blockchain domain, for ENS. And after subdomains getting mainstream after name rapper, we were just experience a massive expiration of the 3 and 4 digits, which is another 2 months to go. We already see some of the 3 digits get expired and released, because the previous owner, maybe they forget, maybe they fail to renew it, but I doubt that they know it and they choose not to renew it, because you can simply pay $640 and sell it for 15 E's, which can be between 20 to 30 $1,000. It's a As long as the people is rational, he can never choose to simply let it go that way. So maybe he really, for real, he forgot, or he thinks this is has a just as a normal NFT of the art picture PFP, that it doesn't need renewal, so he will pay the huge lesson. I see people has two of the 3 digits, 488, and another what number? I think totally he has three, but the third hasn't been released yet. But there's no move, there's no change on that account, unfortunately for him. And we just try to learn from others' lessons. Always check the expiration date. Make sure those terrible things won't happen on us, because these are all the serious monies. Nobody will ever thank you for letting your name being released and job catch by others. Only ENS team will be happy for that, because that expired name will be in the premium of the Dutch auction, and then some guy else will pay high premium, for example, more than 10 E's at least, to to catch that name. So nobody will say thank you to you. And only ourselves can be responsible for our assets, for our family, for our investment, for everything. So guys, do the right thing. Yeah, enjoy the weekend. And since I'm on travel this week, I'm not sure tomorrow morning I'm available for the ENS Friday night happy hour, but I'll try to make it. Thanks much, guys. You have a great day and a great weekend.
Thank you, brother. Enjoy your travels, but more importantly, enjoy your beer. Right. I think that's what life is all about, where you work hard and you also play hard, master. So sit down, kick back, relax, crack open another beer, and enjoy the remainder of the show. Appreciate all that you do for this community. But ladies and gentlemen, this is ENS Updates. We do the show every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we discuss all things crypto, Web3 related, with a focus on ENS domains. We are giving away a subdomain today, an email.eth subdomain. We're giving away moon.email.eth subdomain today. Uh, crypto turn moon, very popular in the Web3 community. So I think that's a pretty interesting one. We'll give that away towards the end of the show. With that being said, I'm going to keep the show moving right along here. Let's go over to our guy, the NFT verse. The stage is yours, man.
Hey, GM, 5159 RN1 Master. Thank you guys, man, for always, man, staying consistent out here, man. We're definitely it's so much going on out here right now, man. It's crazy, but it is Friday, and it is the Friday night happy hour. So I'm looking forward to kicking back for a little bit with the community, man, relaxing, having a little drink, having a little smoke, or whatever you decide to do, man. Come and hang out with us. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go till about 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come out tonight, man, guys. I mean, it's been a long week, so I look forward to this day where we don't have to talk about anything, ENS, anything, any projects or protocols that are out there, man. It's about having fun and just getting together with the community. So I look forward to that tonight. One other thing, and just shout out to all the speakers up here. Just want to give a shout out to Gary P. Mafiko's in here, Optimum Prime, Hodl, Eth, and I see some people out there, Zero Zero, Dre, a dope collector, Sublet, Sam Wilson. Yeah, man, everybody. My guy Evan out there too, and Anna too. Yeah. So I just want to touch on something really quick. I'm not going to take too much time, but guys, there's a great conversation going on right now in the ENS Dow forum in regards to the temp check that I put out there for the second ENS airdrop. I just think it's important that if you do have any commentary or want to provide any type of support or just some feedback or any type of response, come into the Dow forum. Look for the temp check for the second. I'll actually post it in the comments below, but go to the link, man. Sign up for your account and get yourself approved, and man, just tap in, just say something. Just I mean, this has been a topic that's been discussed before, but I feel like the conversation that's going on in there right now, a lot of you guys would benefit just from seeing just the dialogue in general. You get to see both sides of the coin, right, when it comes to that. And I think it's important that we all kind of participate in that thing, because it could be very powerful, right? I mean, if it is actually pushed to the point where there's a proposal out there, I mean, if we get to that point, I mean, that could be super powerful for the whole entire community. And the thing is that it's about exploring different ways where we can kind of look at that 5.4 million ENS tokens that went unclaimed. Why not? Why not explore some possibilities with that, as it reverted back to the community treasury? I think that those are topics that we need to discuss, because there's so many people out here, man, that are doing great things. And I just feel like, if you want to be part of it, I'm not forcing anybody to go into the Dow forum, right? But if you have something to say and you do want to kind of chime in, now's the time. Now's the time. It's getting a lot of activity in there. It's getting a lot of great feedback in there, man. And I'm liking the process. I'm liking the process that's going on in there. And people have some really good, really good dialogue and conversations regarding how they feel about it, and what are some of the pros and what are some of the cons. I think it just adds value to the conversation going forward, and hopefully, we come to a conclusion and we figure out, hey, how do we want to approach this? If we do want to move towards a second airdrop. So again, if you have time, I know people are busy in here. People have full-time jobs and they have IRL and everything that's going on. So I don't even assume at one moment that you're not in there because you're just sitting around not doing anything. I don't assume that at any moment, because we all have things that we have to take care of IRL, and maybe we don't have time to do that. But if you do have time, I say stop in there if you can and just provide a little bit of feedback. I appreciate it, Kev. I'm going to hand it back over to you, man. Everybody have a great day, man. I hope I see you guys at the Friday Night Happy Hour. I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Verse. I will be there tonight. One of my favorite shows in the ENS community. So great points, man. Great points. If you have the time, just come on, pop in and say what's up. Let's go over to our guy Mafiko, aka 1261. The stage is yours, brother.
Yo, GM guys, greetings from Australia. I just flew back yesterday, so really, really jet lagged, but I'm glad I could hop on and talk today. There's a lot of things going on. I see you guys have had quite a bit of discussion around Chat GPT, and what's going on around the world. Is a lot going on, but very, very exciting times. There's an article I saw 3 days ago which didn't get as much interest by just in general than what I was expecting. It basically was saying that Universal Music is in talks with the big platforms to overhaul the streaming model. So there's this conversation going on. It's been going on for quite some time that music artists are not being compensated fairly uh, in the current model with Spotify streaming, etc. And so I just started thinking about what potential implications that might have for ENS or how music, this kind of model can benefit from integration or association with ENS. And I think there's this great scope there, especially with the subdomain wrapper on the way, for artists to be able to create tokenized or token gated communities around their superfans. I think it's a really interesting and important avenue for them potentially in the future. So just something to bear in mind. I just posted shared the article and linked it up top. Really interesting article. I think that's something we're not discussing enough as a community in the NFT industry. Certainly for me, before I got into NFTs, that was one of the biggest use cases that made sense to me immediately around music. And the fact of if you're someone who's really into music, being able to support an artist directly, but even the artist then being able to, for example, rather than giving a percentage of their royalties or the majority of their royalties to the label, the artist keeping the majority from themselves and then giving 20% to their super fans. I think there's some really interesting models in that space. Just keep up to date with what's going on in music, and I think for those of us in seeing what's happened with ENS in terms of clubs being formed, I think it's a no-brainer in the future that we'll potentially see artists forming clubs of their own based on the subdomains and being able to kind of create token gated communities to support to further their music. So really interesting advancement in that space. Other than that, just keen to hear what else has been going on. Thanks, Kev.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for sharing that with the community, man. Hope you're enjoying Australia. Let's go over to Optimum Prime. Optimum Prime, the stage is yours, brother. Optimum Prime, you there? Going once, going twice, and he strikes out. Cool, cool. Let's go over to our guy Gary Palmer Jr. Gary Palmer Jr., the stage is yours, brother.
GM, everybody. Buenos dias. How y'all doing? Cool. I was looking forward to a show yesterday. It didn't happen, and that was cool because I thought, oh my goodness, Kev is not a robot, and sometimes he takes care of things in life that comes up, and as much of a it is, for everyone's schedule that tunes in, all the good work that you're doing. I'm really glad that to take care of yourself when that's the priority, right? And I really appreciate that you make us the priority, and that you show up every day. And so I just want to balance my appreciation for you being here every day with my appreciation that you take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, then then one day you don't show up, you don't ever come back, right? So you gotta take care of yourself. It's really important to take rest when we're in this musical dance of NFTs. And as any musician can tell you, a rest note is also a note. With that, yesterday I was hoping to kind of like get this last piece off my chest, and sort of like maybe talk about it less. So I'm just gonna say it today, and then just see how we move forward. But I just wanted to finish up the whole squatter conversation, because I think part of what I hope a lot of people recognize is that there's some distinguishment between what is a squatter and what is a domainer, which is conflicts that I've had with the DAO since day one, right? Because they've always they use the word squatter, and they always use this word squatter when they're referencing domainers, and I don't like that, because a domainer is a legitimate profession. I'm friends with dozens and dozens of highly successful domainers and brokers from Web 2. And they do good work. And the thing with the word squatter, like people that are new, it's just like a word, and and you label yourself, and then we add it as like a label of pride. But I just wanted to share. I did this like thread. You can go check it out. It's kind of long, but it basically asks, what is a squatter? And I just put this thread together for everybody so we can start asking ourselves legally inside the United States, which has a very long arm of the law and does share rules with other countries. But yeah, I go through Cornell Law School. What is a squatter? What are the qualifications to become a squatter? It's you can't just because you own Apple.com or Apple.eth, that does not make you a squatter, right? You can own Apple.eth and Amazon.eth, and you can own whatever the brand, you can own that. But how you use it, how you present yourself, then leads to the determination of if you're a legal squatter or not, right? And so, this is all base law now inside the United States with the Anti-Cyber Squattering Consumer Protection Act, the ACPA, which defines all of this. And from the ACPA and what was it, 1999? There's also the Trademark Dilution Revision Act of 2006, which then kind of supplanted. I don't want you go read all this, right? That there's basically like all of these like laws in the books from the ACPA and the FDDA to the TDRA, right? It's all in a thread about what is and is not a cyber squatter versus like the $100,000 fines per domain. And so I just think this is really interesting. Hello? Hey, I think I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not a lawyer, but I want like a couple of things going on here. One, squatters, real squatters, not domainers, but people that are buying and selling brands back their names. They it's lowering adoption, and it kind of hurts the network effect, and therefore it hurts ENS. Therefore, I'm not a big fan of it, especially when you're going back to the there's this one guy. I don't want to name names because then you guys will see who the person is that has it in their wallet. But there's this one guy that I know. He's like popular, and this person has his last name, and this person has his first name plus his last name. And I tried offering this person 1 Ethereum, right? And for it, and he didn't want it for the first name and the last name. I was like, listen, you can keep the last name. I understand that's like more generic, but there's only one person in the world that's really gonna want his first name plus net. So listen, I want to give it to him, right? I know who this guy is. I'll give you 1 Ethereum, and he's like, no, because he wants to get more money, and all of that's like slowing down this space, right? And at the same time, it's like I'm a domainer, right? It's like I have generic keywords that I have. Like there's brands that share the same name, but I don't own those to sell back to those brands. I own those for someone to build something really cool on, right? It's not like Gary Palmer Jr.eth, and so on one hand, all of this hurts the industry. This hurts ENS. This hurts my bags, right? And I don't like any of that. But on the other hand, just to care about you, right? The individual you, and selfishly from your perspective, man, I don't think it's a good idea for you to be calling yourself a squatter, for you to be going on Twitter spaces that are recorded or not recorded to tell people about how you're going to sell this name back to the brand, just like pre-admitting to infringement, before you even do it. Because the blockchain is not anonymous, and I'm sure if someone wanted to figure out who you were and where in the world you are, it's just stuff that you're probably not going to want to like deal with. So on one hand, I don't like all this because it hurt it. I feel like it hurts the industry because it slows down growth. Again, I'm not talking about generic names. I'm talking about like really specific stuff. And then on the other hand, yeah, a lot of people I think are putting themselves in legally precarious positions. And not that I know because I'm not a lawyer, just to say that again. But yeah, I just think that people should, be aware of the ground that the Web 2 brokers, that the Web 2 domainers have laid out for us, because they already cut their teeth. They already got bloody and bruised. There's already a professional system set up. This has not really applied to Web3 yet, but it's not out of the like reasonable bounds of possibility, right? For them to take the existing Anti-Cyber Squatter Consumer Protection Act and then for them to update those laws with NFTs and Web3 like we know they are. They just had, the USPTO Patent Office in the United States just had a roundtable talking about NFTs, talking about how it's difficult to, get at people and just all the problems, right? So lawyers are coming, regulation is coming. We talk a big game about Web3. This is really Web 2.4. And I really hope that we're smarter about what we're doing from a personal business perspective. And I hope that we're smarter about what we're doing from a higher global regulatory perspective. Yeah, that's all that. And then pivoting over to the Chat GPT, Kev, I kind of wonder, yeah, Chat GPT had the greatest growth of any app or DApp around. And I kind of wonder what's the consumer growth going to look like for Web 4 once they start installing the Neuralink in people. Do you think that's going to have 5 million people in 2 months if ChatGPT had 2 million people in 2 months? I know we've had some conversations about that, but yeah, the world is moving very, very quickly. And I think it's important that we keep up with our own personal responsibility, but as well as, the rest of society as well.
Bombs for Gary. Appreciate you sharing that, Gary. And I think that is much needed between squatter and domainer. And I think a lot of people also were making memes on Twitter about just kind of trolling the name squatter. But as you said, it probably isn't the best idea to be trolling yourself or trolling the community about the term squatter. Just in Google acquires a 300 million stake in artificial intelligence startup and Anthropic. That's pretty big news. That's pretty big news talking about AI and Google wanting to feel a part of this race that's happening right now. 300 million is no chump change, right? Even for Google. So let's go right over to HDL, aka Mindful Penguin. The stage is yours, brother.
Hey guys, how are you all? Great spaces today. So I just wanted to run through what's going on with AI and ChatGPT, how revolutionary this could be. So this is just first iteration of a chatbot which has already passed like United States medical licensing exam, and it's also I think passed bar exam, which in my opinion is very super crazy. So the advice that ChatGPT gives at this point of time is on par with a average physician in United States. That is what is my understanding. So I can't imagine what will be the next iteration of this chat GPT, maybe in 1 or 2 2 years. Generally, with like AI, the growth will be exponential. So it can become really quickly, like you are put out of work. So the thing happening right now is initially we all thought that the marginal cost of like energy will become zero with electricity or solar energy, whatever. But nobody expected that high skill labor and like intelligent people will be put out of work too. So the marginal cost of intelligence is also getting almost zero. at this point of time. So, what will be the future? So, one way to think about it is invest in AI related companies for growth, which, in my opinion, will be very overcrowded very soon. Um, but the other thing, what most people are not looking into is what will not change with AI. So, I was listening to Sam Altman, who is the head of ChatGPT and OpenAI project. Uh, he made a great statement about, the human nature doesn't change. The need to flex doesn't change. Um, so, according to me, I'm very bullish on scarce assets like real estate, maybe Bitcoin, and also like ENS. So, especially scarce assets like digits, which can be really, really big because how much ever when marginal cost of intelligence becomes zero, people want to be different in some way. So they will go for scarce assets. That is my thesis. So it's pretty interesting. It will be interesting to see what the floor price of like Bitcoin and 10K club will be in a couple of years from here. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Mindful Penguin, for coming on and sharing your thoughts. Very, very much appreciated, man. Yeah, I'm excited to see where the floor price of digits is a couple years from now as well. I think that's the name of the game, at least for me, is to hold on to at least a couple of my digits for the longer term. Hopefully, I don't paper hand and I can do it, but we never know how this journey goes. Let's go right over to our guy, Captain America. Cap, the stage is yours, brother.
Happy Friday. GM Kev, GM Ron, GM Master, GM GPJ, GM 1261, all digit holders. Good morning. I love hearing some digit talk on a Friday. Music to my ears. Sounds so nice. Um, and I mean, I think it's crazy time for digits. We were talking on Ron's show briefly this morning about the KuCoin coins, high ENS3 and high ENS4, and how they're flying, like literally flying. And how the liquidity translation is like 1.5 million for one 3-digit to pull out from the pool right now. So either that's got to level out at some point, or digits are due for the next leg up. So everyone enjoy the show. I'm fired up on this Friday because I logged in today to get after it with ZZC Group as their chief media officer and content creator, and had a really nice response from the community getting started. And it's easy to be excited to work with an awesome group when the group is so great and the community is so responsive as well. So I think all these um, Web3 startups and Web3 businesses and Web3 opportunities are becoming more prevalent every day, and it's so deep in ENS. I don't know if you guys saw yesterday. Someone created a plugin yesterday, a Chrome plugin, where you can just like highlight text and click to a Vision plugin to see if that phrase or word is registered. You don't even have to copy and paste anymore. You can just highlight it, and the the uh, the plugin pops up, and you can immediately pull that word up on Vision. And that's just unbelievable that someone even thought to do something like that. And how early we are with all this stuff, and how people still are coming up with these ideas, and they're just going to only benefit the community. ENS has just continued to prove itself, a step above the rest at innovation. And I think that everyone, we need to figure out this ENS ferry proposal and the DAO and all the talk back and forth and everything. But despite all that, for now, I mean, I'm bullish as ever on ENS and the future, because we talk about builders in a bear, and look what everyone has been doing. And personally, I'm excited to be with some of who I think are the best builders in the bear over at ZZC Group. And I think it's going to be a great 2023 for ENS, and hopefully for Web3 as a whole. But bullish as ever on ENS, and bullish as ever on digits, of course. Happy Friday.
Two bombs. One bomb for officially logging into that ZZC Group account, and bomb number two was for being bullish as ever on the digits with the rest of the community. Glad to have you here with us, Cap. I will be doing and announcing the live giveaway for moon.email very, very shortly. Stay tuned. Let's go.
Awesome.
Let's go over to Hex Live. The stage is yours.
Yeah, baby. Glad to be in this space, building in the bear market. Been doing it for like the last year. Every day building. I lead a team of devs. We're creating an NFT marketplace. So I'm deep in the NFT game, everything around NFTs, from a technical aspect. And I use these spaces to go in and see what you guys are talking about, because really, that's you're the customer, you're the client, you're the guys we're building these things for. And it's my job, part of my job as I'm leading this team, to try to figure out what you guys want. So I come into these spaces. I don't know about the ecosystem much. You guys talk about the ecosystem and everything. I don't really know that well. I know the basics, obviously, but what you guys talk about, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what projects are coming out. I don't track the price. I don't even look at the price of stuff much. So yeah, I'm coming in here. We're building an NFT marketplace. Hopefully we can compete with what's out there, and I'm excited to be building in the bear. So yeah, thanks for letting me speak.
Are you building on Pulse Chain? Are you building on Ethereum? Where are you building?
Yeah, first it's going to be Pulse Chain, and then anything's game after that.
Cool. Yeah, if you want, hit me up in my DMs. I'm talking to one or two. I can't tell if some of these guys are on the same team. I'm talking to like one or two or three different Pulse devs teams about adding ENS to the Pulse Chain ecosystem, and how we could take ENS. I'm not sure if you're familiar with ENS. That's what we're talking about here. But how to take ENS and add it to the Pulse Chain ecosystem, as opposed to someone recreating ENS on Pulse. And then because like just like ENS is like human readable blockchain domain names, human readable blockchain usernames, and it's on Ethereum, and a lot of people use it. It's cross blockchain compatible, blockchain agnostic. But what happens is that Tron has a blockchain, they made their own. Binance has a blockchain, they made their own. Everyone has a blockchain, they made their own. There's going to be people on Pulse Chain, they're going to make their own. And what I'm trying to get through to whichever Pulse devs I can talk, because I'm a Hexakin myself, and I'm highly invested into Pulse Chain and PulseX. Yeah, I just want to. Just so you know where I'm coming from. I'm on your side.
Yeah, man, we're doing that. I know.
But what I want, what I want though is for the ENS naming system to be on Pulse Chain, and if I can get a dev to wrap the brain around it with me, I think that could be cool, because then it would be force compatible. It's like imagine if it was like automatically compatible. Imagine if Pulse Chain was compatible out of the box with Ethereum.
Yeah, we looked into it a little bit, and it was just kind of hard because Ethereum lives on, and say that's the source of truth from ENS. Now there's a fork, some other chain. It's going to have its own smart contracts that are going to change over time. And then as soon as the fork happens, those two smart contracts on both chains that hold, the EMS lookups, they get out of sync. And that's at the root of, the problem. I know another team is doing PNS, so we're going to support that. And then if ENS, I really wanted to support ENS because everyone has these .eths. I have a .eth. And I would love for those just to be ported over.
I don't want to give away all the secrets to the people in this room, because of the people that will front run you. But yeah, the way that you do it, so it's automatically compatible, is by using a subdomain. And yeah, like basically you want to create like a subdomain project. You want to take an ENS name, create a subdomain project, and then then if I get let's just say it's fuck it, I'll just say let's just say it's Pulse, right? Let's say you have Pulse.eth, and then use Pulse.eth on this Pulse chain naming system, and then instead of calling it Pulse.eth, you just call it .pulse. And then when I go to Pulse chain and I register for Gary.pulse, it says Gary.pulse, but technically it's Gary.pulse.eth. And now when I'm inside the Pulse chain ecosystem and I send any money or NFTs to Gary.pulse, it does the lookup through the the registry, and would simply send it to Gary.pulse.eth, right? Instead of like creating a brand new system with a brand new contract that's not connected with anybody. If you guys created a naming system based on a subdomain, it would automatically out of the box it'd be compatible with Uniswap and MetaMask and everything, right? Because it already works on the existing connections to the core contract. We could talk more in the DMs about the technicals and like what names I would recommend you subdomain off of.
Sweet, man. Yeah, we're starting to get out of the weeds. Stuff's starting to get going. So now we're looking at some of these other aspects we can bring into the product. So yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we approach the ending of the show, I do want to announce the winner of the giveaway. Let me get a drum roll. 1 second. I think that drum roll is just not animated enough for me, so I'm doing it. And the winner of moon.email is the one and only 184. You are the winner of moon.email. Well deserved, brother. You've been supporting this space and consistent since the very beginning. And I think that's well deserved for you, brother. So we'll send you a DM and we'll get that over to you when we can. With that being said, we'll be doing a lot more email giveaways. We're going to be doing some emojis next week and some other cool things next week. So stay tuned for that. But any final words from our co-hosts, from the speakers, before we pretty much call this one a day?
Now, just say, hey, everyone, have a good weekend. Another great show, man. Have a good weekend. We'll see you all on Monday.
Cool. Speak now, forever hold your peace. And it looks like everybody is holding their peace. Going once, going twice, and you're out. All right, y'all. Have a phenomenal weekend. See you guys at Friday Night Happy Hour if you're deciding to attend. And we have a final batter that stepped up to the plate. Give me 1 second to let my boy up. He stepped up to the plate. Enzo305, my brother, the stage is yours. Go ahead, man.
I'll keep it short, guys. I know everyone's excited for the weekend. I am driving down to Miami right now to meet with some family over the weekend. It's my grandmother's 92nd birthday, so we have big plans for her. But I just wanted to tell a quick story, something that just happened to me. I stopped at this gas station a little while ago, and as I walk in to use the bathroom, right, I saw a Bitcoin ATM machine, and there was an older lady on the machine using it. So I wanted to, pick her brain real quick. I asked her, what is this, an ATM machine? She quickly explained to me, it's a Bitcoin machine, and she just learned about it from her nephew, and she's excited because of the scarcity of it. She mentioned that the government is destroying the fiat system, the currency, and she wants to, start buying crypto. So I just wanted to share that, and given her age group, probably in her late 50s or early 60s, this is extremely bullish for the community. Just wanted to say, we show up every day, we keep doing our thing, and, this is a long-term game, guys. Have a good weekend. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks again, 5159 and Ron, Master, and everybody else. 00. Again.
And there's no better way than to end it off on that. See you guys Monday morning. If you're not at the Friday night happy hour tonight, peace. Thank you, Enzo.